Good evening, everybody. Tiffany from Dragonflyer Studios here with you tonight on this beautiful April the 15th. It is Friday evening. I know I haven't posted a video in a few days. Life gets a little hectic sometimes. And, but I'm here now, and everything is great and grand. Excuse the mess on my desk. I did just finish a journal project. That's mostly why I have not been having videos. But my journal's done and it's on to its new owner, so I am back working on my 100-day project. I have been doing cards every day. I've just not had the time to make videos. I think the last one I showed you was day 59, which was this one with the little paintbrush and tube ephemera. So there's that one. And then day 60, which was, oh goodness, whenever the 13th was. So day before yesterday. A short saying, "Oft contains much wisdom" by Sophocles. I did some rough edges with that one, and I really like the way that it turned out. I cut the sticker from my Sprocket printer into a less square shape, more organic. Anyway, really like the way that turned out. And then yesterday's card, I made a bit of an envelope. It's hard to pull this one out because I had to punch a hole in it to get it to fit. But let's do this real quick. So I made an envelope and just put some stamping on it. And then, "Life is what happens while you are making other plans." John Lennon said that. So yeah, I had to punch a hole in it because my envelope went a little too far to the left, and I just rolled with it. I'd already stuck everything on the card, and so trimming off that edge really wasn't an option. So that was day 61. So we're working on day 62, making the rapid climb up to day 100. This is volume 3. I do believe I'm going to put these up for sale when they're all said and done. So you could buy volumes 1, 2, 3, or 4, or if somebody out there wants all 4 of them, then I might sell them as a set. So, alright, let's get started on tonight's card. I did find a little quote for tonight that I really like. It says, "Life becomes easier when you learn to accept," I think it's supposed to be "an apology you never got," and that's by Robert Brault. I, for one, have had to learn this the hard way. You always hope that people will apologize, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't realize that they hurt you or that they did anything wrong that they should apologize for. So, I've learned to move on, let it go, for my own peace of mind. So tonight's design is going to be based around that quote, and it's got kind of a greenish background color to it. So I found this card. It's from some packaging, I think, that I got from Shane. Or maybe AliExpress, I'm not sure, but anyway, it's packaging. It's a piece of cardstock that I kept and hung on to. I've got a little green accent piece here that I found in my scraps bin that I think I'm going to use. I've also got some leftover vintage music sheets. This is from 1919 that I used. I cut the main girl picture out of the cover of it. It was a jazz music sheet, so I'm going to try and use that up. I'm not sure which side I'm going to use. I really like this little embellishment that they have here, so I don't know. I would like to incorporate that though. And I've got a little fabric tab here that I cut. It's an iron-on patch for fixing jeans or shirts or material or something, and I had used the other half of this for something else, so I just took some Distress Oxide and kind of aged the edge of it a little bit. So I'm just going to jump right in here. I know I need to trim this guy down to get it to fit. And I think what I'm going to do is, once it's all said and done, I'm going to trim this off so that it fits down here in this bottom right hand corner. I would like to, I think, use this as a little tab to stick out on the edge, like so. Yes, I really like that a lot. And then maybe, I don't want to cover her up. She's really cute. It's this little oriental girl holding what it looks to appear to be a little teapot. Anyway, I really like her as a little added graphic. So I think maybe I'll stick that up in the edge there. And then come in with, maybe the edging off of that is really pretty. Okay, so let's move this out the way and that out the way, And I'm just going to come in and kind of trim this up. It's got some, I guess maybe it was a box at some point. I don't really know. But it doesn't matter now. We're going to turn it into something better. Or at least something different, right? Different doesn't always have to be better, but different is different, and different is good. Okay. Just going to trim this up. It's just got a little bit of a bevel from the edging. So I think now that I have a straight line, yes, I'm going to come in, just line that up on my ruler there, and then I'm just going to trim this off and make it square as well, so that I have a straight edge to measure on my card. It is pretty thick. I hope I didn't cut off the part that I didn't want to cut off. Nope, we're good. Okay, so I'm just going to come in here, and I think I'm going to put this, do I want to go all the way to the edge with it? Yeah, because this is going to be sandwiched in between. So if this is going to go here, this is going to go there, that will help secure my tab. So yeah, I'm going to run that all the way over to the edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip this over, line up my edges, and then cut off the top part of that card, because that also still leaves the little graphic of the girl on there that I'd like to incorporate into my design. So yeah, we're just going to trim that off of there. And then, nope, not really something I see myself using, so we'll just let that go to the trash. Sometimes you gotta make those decisions, and sometimes they're pretty quick and pretty on the fly. But I have learned that if I hold on to every little scrap of paper, it can become overwhelming and can sometimes stifle my creativity. So sometimes I just have to let it go. I'm Elsa. Let it go. Let it go. Oh God, no, I don't want to sing. You don't want me to sing. Okay, here we go. Just going to use my Fabrifix glue. This bottle is almost empty. I did buy another 8-ounce bottle from Amazon. It arrived yesterday, a couple days ago. Anyway, so I'm just waiting for this one to run completely out. When I no longer get, if the top of it wasn't glued shut, that'd be great. Once I no longer get anything out of this, this is the problem that I have with these bottles. I forget to put the top on in between projects, and there we go. Okay, get some glue down here. Anyway, I forget to put the lid on in between projects, and this silicone glue will it'll just seal itself shut. So, I'll put the little tag on here, or tab, rather. And so I use Fabrifix for this because this is fabric and this is paper, and this glue is fabulous for paper to paper, fabric to fabric, and fabric to paper projects. It won't warp your paper like other liquid glues will, and I'm just gonna smear some of this stuff on here. Yeah, it won't cause your papers to warp because it's not water-based, it's silicone-based, and it's been absolutely great for doing projects like this where I'm adding a cloth element. Now, the only problem that I have is it continues to ooze out if you don't take the pressure off the bottle. So what I'm going to do is, without squeezing the bottle, I'm just going to wipe that on the cloth underneath, and hopefully it will hold itself down. Yeah, see, it's still oozing, and I really hate that. I've lost and wasted a lot of glue because of that. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong or how to keep that from happening. If somebody out there does know, please tell me. Leave a note in the comments. Alright, I'm just wiping off the excess glue. It's easy to clean up. I usually keep a handy wipe right here in the little side desk. My studio is an absolute mess. I've been yard sailing and estate sailing, just out there finding some vintage things to use. But yeah, you can I just use a little wet wipe. This stuff cleans up pretty easily. If you should get it on, like your table or something, you can just give a quick wipe and it comes right up. Oops. There we go. Oops, sorry about the shaky camera. Okay, so there's that all done, and my little tab is attached quite nicely. So now I'm going to come back in here, and what I'm going to do is this glue here is still tacky, so I'm just going to come in here with my Scotch Create glue stick. And I'm just going to give the edge of this paper just a little glue so that what I'm about to do will be nice and well stuck. You know what? We're just gonna go over that silicone glue with the Scotch Create stuff because I really want this paper. This is vintage paper. It's very old, as you can tell. It's torn. It's not brittle yet. It's not quite that old, but it is. Well, it's just vintage. So you know, when you find vintage things to use in your stuff, if you're like me, you gotta pick and choose. Some things are great to buy and have, but using them will be very hard because as paper gets old, if it's not properly cared for, it will dry out and become almost flaky to the touch. So rather than being able to cut it, it will just crumble in your hands. So be mindful of that when you pick stuff up. If it's in a Ziploc bag, it's probably in a Ziploc bag for a reason. It's probably more delicate than, say, your notebook paper or anything like that. So just buyer beware. I do have a couple of items that I have picked up for purchase thinking that I was going to incorporate it into a junk journal or something of that nature, and it just lives on one of my shelves because it is too fragile to work with. And so rather than destroy it trying to work with it, I would rather just appreciate it for what it is and use it as more decor than actual items in a junk journal. Yes, I did. I got glue on my mat here. Somebody told me the other day that, you know, you just need to wipe your mat down at the end of the day and it really should be okay, but sometimes I don't have time to do that. As much as I would like to. So I just realized there's another little girl over here and a girl here, so I think I may actually take this and cut it off and put it up here in this corner so that I don't lose my two lovely ladies that are on my little recycled package there. I love using recycled packaging for things, especially if they've got a cool graphic on the side or on the front or whatnot. You know, there's always room to use something as something else. Always. Been having a lot of fun with my 100-day project. This is the first year I've participated in it, but I've really challenged myself to get outside the perfectionist, what do you want to call it? Box, I guess, that I worked myself into. You know, that's just who I am, and yeah, I tend to overthink things and overwork things, as I'm sure some of you do too. So let's see, if I put that there and I put this here, what do we think? Is that enough? I really like it. It's got a little bit of a green tint right there above her. I like that though. I wonder if I have any. Do I have any green? Ooh, maybe. Let's see what we've got. I've got forest green. I've got pine needles. So I am a collector of distress oxides, as you can tell. This says forest moss. Ooh, that's a cool shade of green. Unfortunately, they have to be stored horizontally because these have pigment in them, and if you're not careful, if you store them this way, the pigment and the oxide or the ink can separate on some of these things. So I'm just going to use, normally I'd grab a dauber, but I don't have a dauber set aside for these right this second. I'm just being real careful on this vintage paper that I have. I don't want to get too rough with it. Just trying to rub some ink, some oxide onto there. Oh, there we go. Okay, got to angle it a little bit better. There we go. Alright. That's the first time I've used that color. That one's brand spanking new. So there's go. That is Forest Moss. Sorry, put that on camera. Forest Moss. Ranger Distress Oxide. I really love those ink pads. It does take a minute to dry, so I'm going to do a Polaroid shake. Shake, 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 shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Alright. Get this separated. This is printed from my Sprocket printer. It's just a little quote that I found on an app that I use for some inspirational quotes. I'm just going to leave this hanging over the edge a little bit and attach that to my tab. There we go. And then I'm just going to put this one on my glue book. Make sure I get all the edges down on that. I'm going to bring it in, and I'm just going to bring it in from the corner, the edge of it, just a little bit. Oh yeah, that's lovely. Okay, so there's that. I feel like that's crooked, but you know what? Such is the process. You aim for straight, you hope for straight, you don't always get straight. Okay, there's that one. And there's that one. Alright, there's my holes. The ink on this is still a little bit wet, but that's okay. No big deal. I am going to come back with my scissors. Maybe, if I could find my scissors. Hello, scissors. Alright, these will work. And I'm just going to, I've got a little bit of white overhang from the card behind it. I'm just going to trim up for my own mental well-being. And then I'm going to give this a little clip. And I'm going to give this a little clip. And again, I've got a piece of white right here that I just really don't like showing. You could leave it. Don't have to be like me and worry about that, but that's where I'm at. So, all right. I think that's today's card right there. It's less about the quote, more about this background piece of material that I used. I really, really like that piece of packaging. It's got a little gold lettering on it. It says, oh, look, there's another quote down here. It says, let life be beautiful like summer flowers, thin and light off time, something marvelous, tireless. Item. Yeah, I covered up part of it. I didn't realize that was a quote. I thought it was just like, you know, this package weighs however many ounces. So, okay, so this is day, what did I say, 61? 62? 62. It's day 62. So, I'm going to write 62, and today is April 15th. So there you have it. That is today's little card. It is the 62nd installment of my 100-day project. If you guys like what you see and want to see more of it, please hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get myself out there, put myself out there, and maybe potentially help somebody who might be struggling and doesn't know what to do, give them some ideas. So yeah, hit that subscribe button, give it a like, shoot me a comment, share it with somebody that you love. Until next time, bye.